Alter has since filed a lawsuit claiming a violation of free speech. In October, he joined us in studio to explain his side of the story. I know it's been quite a tumultuous 6-7 week period. You've been fired twice.
Yes.
How did we end up here?
Well, it's all a result of a misconstruction of my appearance at an online Revolutionary Socialism conference where I spoke and was invited to speak by conference organizers in my own personal capacity as a private citizen. I gave the talk from my home, not identified as a Texas State employee or faculty member, and unbeknownst to conference organizers, a self-described fascist. I don't use that term lightly as a historian, but if someone describes themselves as a fascist, I'll give it to them. And this person recorded the conference proceedings, unbeknownst to myself and other conference organizers. They took a segment of the break between sessions where someone asked me about my employment at Texas State and then edited it next to my conference presentation to make it appear that I was using my position as a Texas State professor to advocate for.
When you're speaking in this socialism conference, did you think at the time that you were engaging in something that could ultimately get you fired?
No, I did not, because in the conference promotional material and also during the conference itself, we were very careful not to identify myself as a Texas State faculty member. For those that have seen the footage, you can see I identify myself as a member of Socialist Horizon in San Marcos and also as a member of the Texas State Employees Union. I did not, very consciously, did not identify myself as a Texas State faculty member.
I know you've argued for freedom of speech,
yes,
believing that that's been, robbed of you. But is there freedom of speech without freedom of consequences?
Well, yes, there's freedom of speech, but then, yes, there can be consequences. But however, as a government employee, there's well-established case law that government employees have protected speech in their private capacity as a citizen. I also have tenure, which is a form of contract. So there's some that get confused. It's like, oh, it's at-will employee. So yes, you have the right to freedom of speech, but then your employer has the right to fire you if they don't like your speech. That does not apply in my case. As a tenured faculty member, I have extra rights that I wish all Americans had.
I want to read something that Governor Abbott said on October 19th. He said, quote, and this is on social media, Texas is targeting professors who are more focused on pushing leftist ideologies rather than preparing students to lead our nation. We must end indoctrination and return to education fundamentals at all levels of education. Do you hear that statement and worry?
Yes, I do hear that statement and worry because that is not what is happening at universities. In my experience as a professor, and even going back to my days as a college student, I did not have any professors that were trying to indoctrinate anybody. What Governor Abbott's comments do is stifle learning and open debate and academic freedom, which is what students of all political ideologies, or not having any ideologies at all, should be able to benefit from hearing different perspectives, different viewpoints.
You spoke in this conference, and I did watch it, and you said, quote, the American dream is now a nightmare. Do you believe that?
Well, it needs to be qualified. That was a brief conference talk, but I think it's what many Americans are facing. We have high inflation, high rents and mortgages. Unemployment is precarious. We don't have health care, large numbers of people. And so just the basic American dream of home ownership is out of reach for so many people. And so that's what I am referring to. And not that just America itself is a nightmare, but the dream, what people want, home ownership, security, safety. These are things that are not available for so many people. And so that's what I was talking about, addressing, just using the democratic rights and free speech, right to assembly, freedom of press, freedom of speech, in order to advocate for different reforms that Americans can engage in to improve their lives.
I know you've been accused by some people online of, oh, he's trying to incite something, he's trying to overthrow the government. I want to play a clip from this, and then we'll talk about it after.
Okay.
We are by no means just a reading club. Our tasks are laid out in the Communist Manifesto. We must participate in the struggles of our class, whatever they may be, from joining union picket lines to defending trans people. And then, as communists, connect these numerous struggles of our class into a fight against the source of our oppression.
You say in there that you guys are more than just a book club, a reading club. our tasks are in the Communist Manifesto. So when someone hears that, what would you say to them and if they're concerned?
Well, yeah, I mean, you hear, oh, Communist Manifesto, oh, scary. But if you actually read the Communist Manifesto, and I was speaking to a socialism conference, and so it was with people that were familiar with the Communist Manifesto. The Communist Manifesto is not a call for armed revolution, if you actually read it. When I say the tasks are laid out in the Communist Manifesto, it's what they were advocating back in the 1840s. And this is hooking up with different reform movements. In the manifesto itself, it talks about the Chartist movement. And what that was is a movement in England for universal male suffrage. It talks about the agrarianists in the United States. Those are people that were advocating against slavery and what eventually became the 1862 Homestead Act, adopted by the Republican Party and Abraham Lincoln. Hardly scary calls for overthrowing the government, just basic reforms.
Professor Tom Alter, we appreciate the time as always. Thank you.
Thank you.